With the battle for Mosul hitting headlines lately, let's examine the battle and why it matters. On the 17th of November, Iraqi Kurdish and Coalition forces began a consorted attack on Mosul, the second largest city in Iraq and under ISIS control for over 2 years, when the jihadists overran the city and much of western Iraq. Mosul fell to the jihadists in June of 2014, mainly due to the majority Sunni population's deep distrust of Shia-dominated Iraq. As we have seen in previous videos, the Sunni-Shia divide in Islam has been playing itself out in the turbulent Middle East and has a prominent role in affairs. The attack on Iraq by ISIS in 2014 almost led to the collapse of the coalition-backed government in Iraq and prompted a renewed American presence in the country in order to shore up the existing government structure. The main players involved in the battle for Mosul is a broad coalition of forces on the side of the Iraqi army, principally the Kurdish Peshmerga forces, who have been engaged in fighting ISIS since they entered the region. It is estimated that coalition forces range at around 108,000, mostly comprising of the Iraqi army and approximately 40,000 Kurdish Peshmerga forces. There is an uneasy friendship between the two. Iraqi forces are worried that the Peshmerga will use the opportunity to gain territory in Iraq and therefore are attempting to control Peshmerga advances. An international coalition of over 60 countries, including the United States, is also involved in other operations supporting the Iraqi army, such as intelligence, airstrikes, and training. Notably, around 2,000 Turkish forces have been based in Iraq without the consent of the government, who have twice demanded that Turkey withdraw from the area. Turkish President Erdogan has insisted in maintaining a presence and playing a role in the battle. Most analysts would argue that this is due to Turkey's fear of a growing Kurdish unity and presence, which it says threatens its own domestic security in Kurdish regions of Turkey. It is crucial to remember that Turkey is also a Sunni country and shares a distrust for the Shia government of Iraq. Analysts estimate that ISIS forces number between 6,000 to 9,000 militants, although these estimates vary and its accuracy is debatable. In the first 2 weeks of the offensive, Iraqi forces gained ISIS territory around the city rapidly, but progress slowed after troops entered Mosul from the east on the 1st of November, as they were targeted by snipers, suicide bombers, and shellfire. In the center of the city, 4 of the 5 main bridges which unite the east and the west of the town have been put out of action by coalition airstrikes, with the aim of limiting the jihadists' ability to resupply or reinforce their positions in the east. Also, the presence of ISIS strongholds, booby-trapped houses, and surprise attacks has slowed the Iraqi army's advance considerably. Why this matters? Mosul is an important city for ISIS. After having captured the town, ISIS declared its global caliphate. This city is also rich in oil and has a population of over 1.5 million, mostly Sunni Arabs. It is hoped that by Iraqi forces retaking the city, ISIS would be struck a decisive blow which would begin the demise of the jihadist group and retrench it back into northern Syria. Also, the involvement of the Peshmerga and Turkey means that even if Mosul is retaken, the situation in Iraq will continue to be very complicated. The most obvious concern is the 1.5 million inhabitants, sparking a humanitarian crisis and vast exodus out of the city, many of whom will join the migrant paths into Europe. More than 100,000 people have now fled their homes in and around Mosul, and UN officials are warning this figure is likely to rise as the Iraqi-led forces press further and further into the city. In a worst-case scenario, the crisis could displace up to 1 million people, the UN's refugee agency says, and 700,000 people could need emergency shelter and care. It's likely that Mosul will continue to make headlines in the coming months, and how it will be resolved is anyone's guess. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and as always, if you liked the video, like and subscribe at the buttons below, and we'll keep putting out stories that matter. Peace.